There are some road trips where everything goes exactly according to plan. This was not one of those road trips. Somewhere behind us was the desert, somewhere ahead was the tropics, and between the two stood half the lobby, a few questionable driving decisions, and an enormous amount of road. We'd already made our way through the mountains, and by the time the footage begins, we're coming down into the valley on the other side. And I'm in the yellow M2, naturally, because if you're going across an entire map with half the lobby, you might as well do it in something that looks good doing it.
Don't come close to me. If I hold the stairway, there's a 500K with a I'm like, no problem, man. Check up on my stats. I ain't let these niggas run around while I stack it. I ain't tell my shit out, yes I do, but I back it. Set my pants down, I feel bold, yes I'm slatting, I'm Latin.
Yeah, first off, G&G business. I just walked in, I black look like a villain. Cargo out, don't fuck with Daniels. The speed on me look like a melon. Since it got shot, so the fuck it, bro, send him. You know the greatest on top to the peasants. He tried to bite it, got sent to the dead.
The road opens up, the mountains start disappearing behind us, and everyone begins picking up the pace. City 1 is just ahead. At this point, the convoy is moving pretty well. Cars everywhere, engines screaming, everyone trying to keep up without becoming the reason the entire trip comes to an end. And then there's me. Approaching the bridge, everything looks fine. The M2 is stable, the road is straight, City 1 is right there. And then I crashed. Of course I did. Because apparently surviving the mountains wasn't enough.
Fuck it, I'll tell you. Go against me, it's no problem, I dare you. Can't answer a bitch, but some months. How dare you? That's your real life, we don't do it to scare you. GMG shit, there's no way to prepare you.
So, after that highly professional display of driving, we eventually regrouped at the service station in City 1. This was basically our unofficial pit stop. Everyone parked up, we took a moment to chat, and more importantly, we figured out what was happening next. Because getting from the desert to City 1 was only half the journey. The real destination was the tropics. Parked, with the cars lined up and everyone finally taking a breather, the convoy started feeling less like a random lobby and more like an actual road trip. Different cars, different players, completely different driving styles. But somehow, we'd all ended up heading in the same direction. And now came the final stretch. City 1 to the tropics. So we fired the cars back up, pulled out of the service station, and continued south. No more stopping, no more getting distracted. Well, hopefully. The scenery starts changing almost immediately. The city fades behind us, the roads open up, and eventually the landscape starts looking completely different. This is what makes these cross-map trips so much fun. You're not just driving from one point to another. You're passing through completely different parts of the map with an entire convoy of players, and every few minutes, something unexpected happens. Someone gets left behind, someone takes the wrong turn, someone decides they're in a street race, and somehow, we still make progress. After everything we'd already been through, the tropics were finally getting closer. The desert felt like it was hours behind us. The mountains were long gone. City 1 was behind us too, and now there was only one thing left to do: finish the journey.
No straight from the horse's mouth. If you bitch him and fuck him, we close him out. That was quiet all year and ain't talking now. Fuck it, I'll tell you. Go against me, it's no problem, I dare you. Can't answer a bitch myself. How dare you? That's your real life, we don't do it to scare you. GMG shit, there's no way to prepare you. No, bro, that's how my crew, that's at B&B. I'm on top of the list, no one clearing me. Had to switch up the voice, you ain't hearing me. Swear to God, I done been through the rush, you know niggas ain't scaring me. I'm allergic to negative energy, broke niggas make me sick, don't get near me. I propose to the cash and they marry me. Say hi to the greatest, yeah, that's the better me. And I'm holding this push for infinity. Niggas think I might forget what they said to me. I been high since I stepped in the door. You don't see the vision and keep your mouth closed. Counting up the amount like 1, 2, 3, 4. I could do one song, shut down the show. Punching in, I do this straight up the dome. I can't cap it all, I say what I know. If the cash of me, I'm feeling at home. Say how you hear my shit, I still that.
And eventually we made it. From the desert, through the mountains, across City 1, and all the way to the tropics. One lobby, one massive convoy, and one yellow M2 that somehow survived the entire trip. Well, apart from that little incident at the bridge, but we'll just pretend that never happened. And honestly, that's what makes these multiplayer road trips worth doing. You don't need a destination with a purpose. Sometimes you just need a bunch of cars, a long road, and half a lobby willing to follow you.